Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are having a guest with us, Hilary Klassen, who is a working mom, rocking the world of entrepreneurship, and she had before experience as a HR consultant and coach for more than 10 years, where she got also her two little boys. And now she is making a difference in the world of employees by her application Best Selfie. Let me welcome her to hear from her experience as a mom about the challenges and what does it look like to work in the field of HR and coaching. So, hello, Hilary.
Hello, Sarah. Nice
How
to
are
see you.
you?
I'm doing great. Wonderful. It's a sunny day in Berlin, as we know, and definitely, I mean, obviously, it's great just to have the chance to talk to everybody and have this chat with you, and happy to share as much as I can and support working moms with big careers and big ambitions.
Yeah, exactly. You were one of the first person that I met when I came in Berlin the first time, and I was really impressed about how you were working on your dream to realize to build this company, Best Selfie, and I wanna let us know more about who you are. How did your journey start? And your motherhood, when did it start? Like who you are, what do you do, and when you became a mom, what a change there. Yeah, that's
Excellent.
the small introduction.
Very short. Let me start all these years. No, short introduction is, I've always been fascinated with the world and just meeting people from all over. And originally was international affairs, political economy, but I knew, hey, who's driving what? Politics, business. I found politics was a little slow for me. I tend to have a lot of energy and want to move things very quickly. So the business side. And so I've worked for very, very large companies like Lufthansa. I spent 10 years at Gallup as a management consultant, also helping to lead their HR profession. Got asked to move from DC to Berlin randomly. It will be almost 16 years now. And just thought, why not? Off we go to a new adventure and to help build a market for them and across Europe. But I've opened up offices in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, across Europe, China, Asia, sort of everything ex-US was, go ask Hilary. She kind of knows how to do these things. And at the same time, I was doing coaching and consulting with a lot of founders, also women that in Berlin also looked a little different about 7, 8, 9 years ago, where there weren't as many expats as there are now, and opportunities. And so I had a lot of also moms also saying, what am I supposed to do? How would I do this? I'm like, well, what's your business plan, your revenue stream possibility if you want to launch your business? And so doing the side, and I knew there's this whole other tech world out here. And I want to be in the core, in the center of that, of what the future is. And so jumped in. So I've worked for fast growing tech companies in-house, but also as a consultant myself for the last 6 years. And I've had a lot of different ideas of where you see problems or you see challenges, kind of like what you're doing, Sarah, with how do we support and help other ambitious working mothers and give them everything they might need. So I loved your podcast last night. If you haven't seen it, watch it, because I think it's really about bringing us all together and having providing the tips and tricks and the tools that we do need all the time for development. And so where Best Selfie came around, and as I got to know you in Tunisia, and actually when you were in Berlin, and then back there, and Sarah was also amazing sounding board from the tech side of how can we take self-driven coaching, right, and really a purely digital solution where there's no human coach involved, and making this into a digital solution for people that they can optimize themselves, be more productive, be more engaged at work, have better work-life balance, as we call it, and giving them, what is called bite-sized coaching. So at the time we were working on that concept and doing a lot of, as we said, this
Yeah.
from the technical side in the test. Would people interact? Would they not? And so for the last year and a half, that's been my focus of getting Best Selfie up and running. And I, where we are today, and we just completed Techstars Accelerator, so quite excited, and launched also with 2 pilot customers, and getting this out for companies to offer this to the people for the, to better improve themselves. So always around that and being able to go. Yeah.
Great. This is like a big long journey.
Yeah.
How were like between all this, you welcomed your first child when you were like building with the companies, supporting them with coaching,
Yeah.
and so I mean, how did you integrate? How was your
Mm,
experience when you were
mm,
working as HR consultant and so, and
absolutely.
then you became a mom? And
No,
then
absolutely.
after 2 years,
Yeah.
then it's the second baby. I
I
mean,
know.
how was?
Yeah,
Tell us
excellent.
more
Yeah,
about this.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think, every time frame or whatever, I kind of call it like phases of what is being a mama or motherhood, right? And as our kids, and go from babies or infants to baby, like real babies, and then to toddlers, and then to key to children, or going to kindergarten, to be going to school. My boys are amazing. They're 10 and 8. Hard to believe time flies by. I mean, this with Yusuf too. Like
Yeah.
it's just, you're like, wait a minute, how is it already a year it came by, and flew by? And I think looking back, I was quite fortunate. I mean, I was in a pretty, high level position in consulting, traveling quite a bit. That's something I really didn't want to stop doing, and it was really important to me. Having a baby, particularly in Germany, it's a little different than in countries we might be from, and you have a great amount of support, I think, from the state, to say stay at home and do this, and you're thinking that's great, but
Yeah.
my brain, I need to do something else. And it's the
Yeah.
most exhausting role ever, is being a mother. We know that,
Yeah.
right? And you tend to operate in this gray zone for a couple of years of
Mm.
lack of sleep or being interrupted sleep. That can be a totally different topic too, of how to work
Yeah.
in that. But, and then, when my first son came along, and he was, super active, and we would go do things. That was wonderful. But I just craved it. I missed, and I was actually doing some coaching on the side, and because I felt like I needed to continue to develop myself or help others. But I also wanted to go back to work. So I went back he was just over 9 months, and
Wow.
I'll never forget. Yeah. And I'll never forget exactly that. Wow, where, my sisters in the United States and other friends were like, you got to stay home for 9 months, right?
Even
Or
even
nine
in
and
the United States, they told you you've got to stay home.
you got, no. They said it was a luxury, right? To be able to be at home for that.
Yeah, yeah,
A
I
luxury,
know.
right?
Yeah,
Because they go back in weeks. Like, here you go, here's a
yeah.
baby. And I do think, like, so I kept saying, I'm so fortunate to be able to do this. But I also knew myself. And I think being at the core of what this is going to look like, am I missing out at what's happening at work? And can I still do my job in the same way, right? Of all these things. And, I went back, the company itself, and it was with Gallup. And I will say this was wonderful at actually just saying whatever you think you might need or how to do this. But a lot of it is you have to define it yourself, right? So you have to be
Okay.
very vocal around
Yeah.
what is it that I need? I didn't go back part-time. I went back full time. My job was not part-time. Okay. So working and leading teams across different countries and time zones is not. But also that I really felt like I could do it, I think. Yes, the first year, and I would say I was super fortunate. My husband also got quite a bit of a look as he was doing the into kindergarten, right? The transition period, the 7 months.
Okay.
So he did that. And actually, the comments I did receive from people like, how dare you leave your baby, and what to do. And you've got to build like thick skin around this,
Thick skin. Yeah.
very thick skin, because, you have to decide what is right for you and your family. And if you, have any doubts or anything, the babies realize this, and
Yeah.
obviously your partner does. So I think being able to be very clear, like, nope, that's what I do. I'll never forget the time after 3 weeks or so, I went to go pick up Alexander, my son at the time, in kindergarten. This one educator comes and she looks at me and she said, "Oh, you're the mom. Nice to see you." And but I see you look like he looks like you. You know, and I just thought, you know, you will always receive these comments, and it's just sort of, you know, you just have to kind of let it go and also realize, no, but I'm actually happier working and I enjoy it. And the time I spend with my children is quality time, right? It's not quantity, it's quality. And so I'm a firm believer, and I've always said that. Having my second son, which was great, I actually found out I was pregnant when I was like in Dubai in work. And I was like, oh, I'm having another child. Oh my goodness. So it was, you know, that happened kind of quickly, but actually I've loved watching them super close, grow up together. Also, I think by the time you do have your second child, you don't self-doubt things as much. You really are able to just say, nope, that's my role. I'm a mother. I'm a working woman as well. I'm in leadership roles, and this is what I'm going to be doing. I actually did transit. Well, it was about a year after. So I had a 3.5 and 1.5-year-old when I worked for and started my role as director of talent at a tech company, which was a super scaling company, quite chaotic as usual, and everything. And there was definite bias there, right, around like, how can you do that? Are you, you know, but you set your you know, your boundaries, and you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. I think like with anything, you have to also be clear. You can't do, well, you can do everything. It's just you have to manage it very well, and manage as in knowing if your child gets sick or you get sick, you know, that's sort of like end game for the day, right? Is sort of really difficult. But it's, you know, you have to, exactly. And then you have to forgive yourself and say like, you know what, I just can't do that. Or I have to focus on, you know, caring for my sick child or myself. And we forget about ourselves, right? Quite often.
Yeah.
I think that's a big struggle. In this time of COVID too, and I'm doing a lot of coaching and with Best Selfie, I've heard a lot of our users say, I'm just struggling. I'm really struggling with, I don't know what's right. And I don't know what my mood is and my emotional state and how this impacts what my work is.
Yeah, I know it's, if I understand correctly from your experience, how you managed to deal with all with the challenge of getting back to work earlier than, especially here in Germany, because my experience as a mom, when we want to go back to work earlier, we often get the, are you sure? Like you said, are you sure? Or you're gonna make it? And you know, how you will miss your development of your baby, and like you should better be with your baby now. And so
Absolutely. Yeah.
The secret to this is to really know what you want, and then you translate it. Did you like have some time with your manager or your boss at the time to clarify these boundaries? And how was that? And if what would you recommend to any mom going back to work? And
absolutely. I mean, every woman, every parent and family situation is different, right? So I do say, you know, being able to figure out what that means for your core family, right? And what's important. And every child is different too, right? They're unique individuals and need different things. I think also finding definitely to be able to give your child up to somebody to take care of them, or a babysitter, or in kindergarten or a nursery is super challenging. I think for mothers, that's our first hurdle. Nobody can do it as well as I can, right? And you know, yes and no. Children are extremely adaptable and resilient, and they want to feel loved, right, and cared for. So having strong relationships and around that. We don't have any family here. We've never. So we couldn't rely on them. We have a couple of really good friends as well, but building that, I thought it was really important. I've had babysitters since they were little to get used to also other people and having that. And for me, that was also really important because I was always, even when they were babies, I was doing, as I said, coaching or off doing, some consultancy or something on the side. So it wasn't ever, like a full-time job, but just I needed my time. I needed to go to the doctors. I needed to go do stuff. And I didn't always want to, take my child along with me. And I think that's okay for a couple hours till they get to a point. And children need social interaction. So that was something that I thought was okay. I'm okay with. Sitting down and speaking about re-entering, after having a child is you have to have those conversations, and you actually have to be quite proactive. Don't wait for your manager or the organization to come to you. You start having those conversations, and have them early. Even if you don't know, I mean, we try to think we know everything and the best solution and okay, of course at 4:00 I'm going to stop because I've got to run to the key to pick them up. I mean, you do have to set those. For me, it was also around, who was picking up, what was happening, with different things, the constructs of our kindergarten. I actually did choose, little secret, we don't have that luxury in Berlin, is the opening hours. So it was 8
I
to
heard
6.
so.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, I could be there at 6:00. It's a long day for your kid, but it's okay. They get used to it, and then it moved back to 5. So, but before I said, okay, I will pick up my child 3 days a week. The other one will be my husband or the babysitter. So I already set this routine and schedule, and made it very clear, not just for my manager, but for my team, right? I mean, I worked with people across the globe, and also to say, if you need me after 5:30, I won't be checking my emails on my phone or messaging systems. But if you need me, call me. If it's really urgent, and until about 8:00. I mean, that was for me. Of course, sometimes you have meetings. Of course, you have exceptions. But for the most part, I really tried to create those boundaries and these rules. So, and I think that's actually fair, because I wanted to spend quality time, not just the quantity, right? And I've always done that. So I've always been very clear over years around what that means. Do I get calls? Interesting. Do you think I get calls?
I wonder. I mean, from
right?
5:30, from 5:30, you should normally be off work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, off work, exactly. But this is interesting. But sometimes when you're, if you are in positions, and I had teams in California to whatever, you want to be available. And I think because we're on all the time now,
not the same time zone. Yeah. When you are,
exactly. But for the most part, no. Even at that, I'd have met other managing directors that needed something, and it's like, hi, I'm really sorry. I mean, I love that they just knew it was an exception to the rule. Okay. So I may have gotten calls over the last 10 years, 5 times during this time period. That's it. So, and I think that's okay. And if you lead by that, that's fine. Right. People knew in my team, I would be working from 8:30 till 11 or midnight. And I did quite a bit of work as well. But I always told them, I don't expect you to also be working when you work your full day. I think it also depends on your type of role, right? But and not, I would say not all the time, but if I had to be, and we're in projects or different things that we need to get done, I think that's okay. And a lot of times I would do a lot of my creative thinking and thoughts and concepts, and send emails out. I'm like, please do not email me back. So this is not about the presents. No, it's also because I'm taking that time to be with my family.
Yeah, everyone have like to find what's the right time that works for them. And I think for you, it was like at night you want some time with your kids, and then after they sleep, you stay awake to work on your projects, and it's okay to have like different schedules, because just be clear about them so people can respect them.
Absolutely. And as we said, and your children know. I mean, right now they're 10. Of course, they love technology, and we're trying to keep them off of it as much as possible. But they see us. I'm just checking the weather, and I'm just doing this or whatever. And yeah, it's hard. It's not easy right now trying to be a role model that you don't need to be on all the time. Yet, because our children mimic that too. And I mean, we just lived through COVID, being at home, and I have, unfortunately, a couple of pictures because I did work and then spent time with them, and I had a couple of pictures of them. They're like, this is my mama, on calls all the time and on Zoom, and and they're like, I'm getting drawings, from my 8-year-old. And I just have to look at that, and they're great as a reminder too, that of course they were exposed to my everyday hours of working. But, I had to do homeschooling. We had to do things, but for the most part, I think, we live in a different scenario, but it's a great reminder to still go back to what have you defined for your family and those core values, that you want to do. And I know plenty of mothers also like, I want to be home at least until they're 6 or what. Actually, there's a little hint I want to tell all moms. When they're babies, it's actually kind of easy in kindergarten. It's actually, they start school, first grade is no joke. You go right from nursery, Kita, to first grade. Actually, I think you should take more time off and make it clear emotionally for the children. It's such a transition, such a transition time. So,
you had it like about 3 years ago. I mean, I don't know here when they start
first
school.
grade. Yeah, absolutely. And I think even going right now, they just entered 3rd and 5th, which is also a transition. A lot more expectation and teaching them more independence, responsibility, for their homework and for things. They're their own human beings. So they're being exposed, which is good. They're back. But then a little more of these, who am I? What are other people telling me who I am? How would I sort this out? The friendships, right? Is verbal communication, nonverbal communication. So absolutely. I think emotionally they need us quite a bit. Quite a bit.
It's maybe even more than when they were babies. So when they 100%. Start to move that from transition from kindergarten to the school. Exactly. Yeah, okay, thank you for this.
I was just going to say, for all those mothers that are working with babies and being told, why are you not at home with them? I'm like, no, it gets harder, actually. This is the easy part of giving them to
okay. Thank you for this. I will keep it for myself just to know that when there is that transition. Okay. And how did you what are the best tips that you give in order to manage generally the daily life of a mom? What helped you most in order to achieve that quality time and have time for yourself and also work on the thing that makes you happy?
Absolutely. And we kind of touched upon this a little bit, but I'll summarize it. But also to think through, I haven't stopped, and I probably work more now than I ever have. Obviously being, a co-founder and CEO of a company and building something that I'm very excited about and passionate about that's going to help people, every day. And it's interesting because I feel like having children actually help me understand and to see, do things you love, right? Even more so. And having that grounding foundation around, sometimes it's like, are we ever going to find the dream job? I don't believe in that. But I do believe there's constructs of things that you actually are aligned with. So know what that is. What's the purpose every day of going to work, okay? And spending time with your family and making sure you focus on self-care. Defining that for yourself is really critical. Again, those core values around my family comes first. And as I said, if they're sick or we are, everything else is secondary. All right. I think that's also really important. That goes into that other aspect of quality over quantity. You have to remind yourself. So when you feel like I need to go do yoga or go for a run, I need an outlet for myself. It is about the quality time you also spend with yourself and with your family, right? That you're a better person. You feel better, right? So I do think that's reminding yourself, you do have to be, and it's funny, I was talking to somebody who said, I think Hilary, I always say, you're super organized all the time. And I'm like, actually, I'm not, but I don't feel like this. I think it's around, they're like, how do you do it? Everything is super, I'm parent rep 2 classes at school and you have to manage things. And I mean manage as in really to say, this is a priority, this is not. When am I going to get this done? How am I going to get this done? Does it mean less sleep for me? Am I okay with that, right? Is always kind of checking in with your own, how do I manage it all? You can to a certain point. And that goes into my another aspect is get help. You do need help and you need to look at things. A good friend of mine told me 10 years ago, she's an investment banker and everything. She's like, you have to outsource, outsource the little, or think about things that do you have to do by yourself. We live, we're very lucky that we live in a great city. We have an okay incomes, right? And you have to say, okay, like I had to get babysitters to do some things. Am I okay, right? And I'm okay with that. Other parents aren't, and that's okay, right? Again, it goes into think about this, but ask people and ask your friends and others for some more help. Interesting with our tech stores cohort, there's a great company called Mello, and I just want to put that out there, where it's an app to actually build a community around child, like raising a child takes a village, right? And I think that's so true, is very much around this community orientation around if your child's, you have to be happy and your child will be happy. And if your child's happy, that makes us happy, right? And having that love and support. I said, if you're happy, right, it goes both ways. Your children feel it, right? And right. But if your child's also happy and you know that they're loved by others as well, you're happy, right? So so then it makes it easier to work on the things and be in a job that you want to do. So I do think that does take a lot of things. And obviously, don't forget about yourself. We talk about self-care, particularly now during this crazy pandemic. The world, I mean, I still feel like in Berlin, we're in this bubble and people need to take it more seriously, but also, health is everything. And this is physical and mental health that we have to focus on. So being really in tune with ourselves and what we need, said you can try to budget a half an hour a day. And this is what I try to do. Half an hour for yourself.
It's like we think one of the first thing I also get the same comments like, how are you organized? And like it's just a question of priority. So it's definitely right.
Absolutely.
And I don't feel that I'm organized, just like you.
No, and it's fascinating, Sarah. I just was writing for productivity with some of our business psychologists, other coaches for Best Selfie. Okay, so we're bringing this out in the market, and for those that want to sign up, let me know. Happy, go to our website, bestselfie.com, because there's so much in there, and the tips and tricks, and how do you break it down into really time management and productivity and everything. And it's working in intervals. And it really is about, being okay with, like, when you go into deep work, how do you do deep work? How do you get into your flow? Being aware of your energy, your mood, and that impact around what's happening cognitively of being able to be our best. And so there are quite a few tips and tricks. So happy to give that if you want to sign up for that for free. Because it's not just organization, that's a part of it, but it's really about applying techniques that help us be better and get more done, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what I wanted to say, because you mentioned a community for children, or like, can you then after that provide me the link or something to share with it? What is this community about?
Yeah, so it's about and people coming together, whether it's within your neighborhood and to be able to exchange ideas, but also it's about hey, maybe I can help take your child to the playground for 2 hours. So you build this, and then you might offer for the next time, right?
I know an app called Sit and Under.
Yeah, so it's the same one. It's the same one. They just rebranded. It's called Mello app. So
it's the same
one.
App.
Yeah. But I would love to post it into the thriving careers, mothers and moms, because I think it's such a great way to connect with people as well from that. But
especially expat, because it's like we don't have family, so like. Asking first, getting over that I have to do it all myself and not asking for help. But then when we do that step and ask for help, I mean, the world changes really for us.
Ask for help. I mean, this is what I said. My friend told me 10 years ago, outsource. It's not really outsourcing. It's actually
it's not
it's asking for help. Like, how can you, I maybe need this, and as what you're building too is this community around how do we really support each other. And that's a big thing, is learning then to know and to kind of tease out what is it that we all need at different times. And it's a roller coaster, right? It's not that,
exactly.
it's a lot of ups and
We
downs.
need a village. We
We
need a village
do.
for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before like asking my last question and letting you tell us more about Best Selfie, I want to know, because you worked in HR and in recruitment, and I mean, you know, the internal I mean, the how can I say it, the internal things that happen in companies. What would you recommend for a mom who is switching to another job, looking for a job now? What would you recommend from your perspective, from your expertise? Because I know a lot of moms, when they became moms, they start to dig deeper, because I believe our kids really make us question ourselves more, and because we really need to do something happy that makes us happy, in order to be more satisfied and bring that happiness to our kids as well. So many start looking for another job, and it's I have some moms, I know them, that are currently looking for a job, and with COVID, with everything, I mean, what would you say to a mom who is looking for a job now in this situation, from your expertise?
Okay, so from the mother's point of view, I mean, first of all, stop the self-doubt, right? Women, and you know this, when they read a job description, right? Actually, it's an advert. It's not really the description, right? The company's advertising is usually written by people that don't know 100% the criteria of exactly this role, and they're looking for the pie in the sky, needle in a haystack of the perfect person, right? Women opt out when they don't fulfill at least 80%. And this is statistically proven, right?
Yeah.
Where men, okay, yeah, of course I can do that. Oh, I've never done that before, So I think even if you're switching, right, as you said, careers, or thinking about different functions, there's so many. What is a skill? Soft skill, hard skill, etc. Really, I think evaluate yourself. I've done a lot of career coaching in the past, and obviously Best Selfie is about helping people in the workplace, but it's really around understanding yourself, right? Where are my strengths? What do I do best? What gives me energy around things? Really kind of do that little assessment for yourself, and then apply it to, wow, I could probably do this, and go after it. You also need to, be convincing, and it does take practice, right? Is that this?
That confidence.
Absolutely. Bring it up as much as you can, particularly in the job interview. Clearly, when you're just sending your CV across and you never get responses, etc. But keep asking. Find the recruiter. Ask the person, well, what were you looking for? Getting the more feedback that you possibly can is extremely important, right? And keep networking. I mean, that is such a big thing. I think still in this day, we talk about being so digital, and we can just apply in one click from our LinkedIn or whatever. It actually happens that you will, if you're approachable and you're saying, hey, I love what your company's doing, and you've done your research and you've done your work, and this is how I think I can help your company with this, even if you are switching functions. Who doesn't want to hear this? I've been on the HR side, and I love it. Contact me, give me an idea and perspective. As a leader, I've had a lot of other people come to me too, say, wow, this person contacted me. I think they'd be good. Can you put them in the pile, to be considered? 100%. And that still is super relevant. Now, you can't be spammy, and you can't be, you have to be genuine, right? Of doing it. And it does take a lot of time. But I think if, that's what it's really about, is being able to be there and provide, some ideas and solutions. And that's what everybody wants, and to be confident.
Yeah, exactly. Go to ask. I personally applied this networking, and so when I was switching to data science, and I believe it's hard at first to go reach out to a person, but once you do it once, or two, you don't care anymore. How will be that reaction of the person? You whether get a yes or just not no, and then
Mhm.
you look for another person to
Mhm.
and to talk to. And so the other thing is like, as you said, being show that you can bring value.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like make it's personalized.
Absolutely.
My last, thank you so much for this. My last question is like, I know you are now starting Best Selfie. You are already in testing phase with some companies, and I'm curious, like, what is your vision for Best Selfie, and how do you see that it impacts from the employee side?
Yeah.
What will it help? And do you have any perspective for from it also as a mom? I mean, your perspective, and how does it help also moms, and
Mm.
how you want to make the difference with it?
Yeah. So, Sarah, I mean, definitely thank you. And I think that's where it gets me really excited as we talk about even from a lot of, what we just spoke about changing jobs and where things are going. I mean, things are moving so quickly in this world. The workforce looks different. The expectations of people in the workforce are different. I think also when we look at this from, being a parent too, is being able to, hey, maybe we can work. Wherever we want to work. Maybe it's more about bringing the whole person, to
Yeah,
the project. Do we have to be aligned at companies for years? No, we're seeing this. Propensity of people changing jobs usually is. I mean, in the U.S., it's every 18 months in tech companies. Probably even more, right? Here as well in Europe. So that was what got me thinking with best selfie. How do we help people be their best selves at work, right? And really every day providing. So one thing I learned is, with coaching is you can reach these people and quite deeply, but you can't scale yourself. So it's quite difficult. And a lot of people don't have, when you're starting off in your career, have a couple of years experience, or in one thing that we're working with right now in testing is you're a new manager. You actually get tapped and you're like, good luck. You have to now lead people and yourself and do the work.
ah, yeah.
Okay.
This when you mean when you switch from
From
being just
exactly.
I mean,
Mhm.
to a senior level to
Yep.
a manager.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So a lot of things, what we've been doing is saying, how do we serve up a model that replicates coaching, right? In a way that's
Mm,
purely digital. So it said there's no human coach besides all the brains behind it. And to be, it's like, let's give them bite-sized coaching tools, right? And things to think about. So you start with a reflection, you go and you understand yourself, you apply what you can do. And it should be just a couple minutes a day, and then you're able to master things. So that would be more of, how would I have a team session with my team and to understand where people's strengths are, right? And I think that's so important around, what is happening today. So we have different topics like people manager, productivity. We'll be rolling out emotional intelligence. Is
mm,
also provide the latest and greatest. Like, people want the good stuff for today. And a lot of
yeah.
management practices or self-development, in terms of soft skills, is still far away. Or I've asked people, how do you develop yourself? I Google, I look at YouTube, I look at TED Talks, I read books, but still nothing that is all right there for
Yeah.
people. So we do have media as well, curated media of providing based on certain topics. What I spoke about before, putting yourself in flow, the concept of really super deep work and being extremely productive and good at what you are doing. You can't maintain that all the time, but
Mm,
there's triggers and tricks that you can do to
yeah.
wire the brain. So this is stuff I've thought, I want to be able to give this to everybody, right? And we're saying we are working with companies first, because we want to offer this as a benefit, and it should be. It is very much about making sure that people are,
Happy at
happy
work.
what they're doing and that they're developing. And many companies really, honest, they fall short of. Nobody really knows what is learning and development and growth. Do we have plans where we are, right? And
Mm,
it's not necessarily about, yeah, sure, we might want to be promoted, but actually, do we want to work in a job that is fulfilling? Does it have the purpose? Am I aligned to that? So I think a lot of that is really to be self-driven, to be able to do this in really a couple minutes a day. So what we're finding is some user stories right now are great testimonials, is really, using it 15 minutes commuting into her workplace. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can use this every day in my stand-up. and all these tips and everything around this, and then reflect a little bit. But I want more in the evening. Can you send me a reminder in the evening?
People are asking for more.
Absolutely. And it's really, it's a bit of your accountability partner too, right? And stuff. We will be in a couple of weeks launching as well. We're creating our own we have created our own personality assessment based on one of the most scientifically validated, the Big Five. And I think this is going to provide so many more insights into who we are, as you said, like, hey, how do I go after that job? Like, well, let me show you what my strengths are. This is the value I can add. This is how I can do it. But helping them and coaching them along the way towards better self-improvement.
Yeah, this is a good, like, bring your whole self to the work and your best self. That's what best self at work.
Thank you. Exactly. People say, best selfie. I'm like, the years is decide. No, I think it's great. And it is, that's very much what it's about.
Is it like now only possible for employers to sign up, or also individuals can also try it?
So right now we're running this with companies, but if you go to thebestselfie.com, you can join the wait list. We are going to be releasing for individuals because we do feel that it's important to have this as anybody can, become their best selves at work and to be able to start to optimize. So please, it will be open in a couple weeks, and we're going to roll it out in closed beta batches. No, but as the tech terms, no. But to really say, and we would love to have people's feedback, and as I said, building and optimizing for that.
I'm so sure that it's like it will be a great thing, because like giving your knowledge to people that you gained more than 15 years in this like app, it will bring so much benefit to us. Yeah, thank you so much, Hilary, for this.
Thank you. Just to the community, and wherever this gets spread, is, feel free to network, feel free to contact me or others. I also love to connect people. So absolutely. And I think that's extremely important.
Yeah, about connecting with you. Is it possible to connect with you with LinkedIn, or like, if people want to reach you after you?
Yeah. As we said, the first step is ask for help, right? Or advice.
So this will be a good test. Practice now. Reach out to Hilary.
I'm going to be taking a tally. No. Excellent.
Do you have any last words to share, maybe about the Thriving Moms community, about anything as you watch the video?
Exactly. Well, I think and again, I also fully support what your vision is about Thriving Moms, and to really put that forward, that you don't have to go at this alone. There is a really strong network community. Love to see and help shape where this can go, and keep it up, and get more moms part of this.
Thank you, Hilary. You will be part of it also.
Excellent. Happy to do another session if we have a focus topic.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, speak soon.
I'm so happy to talk to you and speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye,
Hilary. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time in another live. Bye.